"If you don't change, you're going to fuck up your baby's life." These words were hurled at a sobbing 1-month pregnant woman. The person delivering the blow was her coworker, who also happened to be her brother-in-law. The two had been on a collision course for months. On one side, an immovable Type A perfectionist. On the other, a laid-back Type B employee whose patience was quietly running dry. Merging strict professional boundaries with a complicated family history turned standard workplace friction into a devastating personal attack. For 2 months, the pair shared duties in their organization's hospitality department. From the very first week, absolutely nothing the brother-in-law did met the mark. The micromanagement was relentless and microscopic. A shoe out of alignment by a fraction of an inch, a bedsheet fold that failed a visual inspection. The sister-in-law enforced her personal, exacting standards as absolute workplace law. Add to this her new pregnancy and her marriage to the employee's brother, a man who shared her exact brand of intense perfectionism. In her mind, she had every reason to feel superior. Swallowing hundreds of tiny, pedantic criticisms day after day hollows out a person's restraint. It creates a highly pressurized environment where a single spark will trigger a massive explosion. That spark arrived when the brother-in-law prepared a guest room for the organization's CEO, someone he considers a close personal friend. He expected praise for his work, but the sister-in-law arrived with a list of failures instead. She immediately attacked his setup, pointing out that the quilt was hanging slightly too far over the right side of the bed. The critique quickly veered from pedantic to absurd. She declared the room freshener he selected was inappropriate because its scent was, in her words, more feminine. She ignored every attempt to de-escalate. She talked over him, raised her voice, and shouted until he had no room left to retreat. So he stopped defending his work. He bypassed the hospitality dispute, looked at his pregnant sister-in-law, and took aim at her unborn child. He told her the child would grow up drowning in emotional trauma. He predicted they would live in an environment of constant inadequacy, permanently incapable of ever pleasing their own mother. He located an expectant mother's most raw vulnerability, and he used it to completely dismantle her. Looking back, the brother-in-law feels zero remorse. He justifies the outburst as a service to his future niece or nephew. And he has sympathizers. Mutual friends validate his frustration, agreeing that her relentless standards make her incredibly difficult to endure. However, the math breaks down when you check the timeline. He diagnosed a lifetime of abusive parenting based on exactly 2 months of shared duty. Instead of filing an HR complaint or setting boundaries, he bypassed standard protocol and opted for the nuclear option. Identifying a coworker's flaws does not justify launching a psychological attack that fractures the family. Instead of fixing the office, he broke the family bond. The intense bitterness from that single afternoon completely replaced their professional working relationship with a cold, permanent rift. Does suffering under a toxic micromanager give you the right to deliver a brutal truth? Or does weaponizing a 1-month pregnancy to win a workplace argument make you the real villain of the story?